Let's head live to Joe Garofoli, senior political writer on the San Francisco Chronicle and host of the It's All Political podcast. Joe, the war, look, it's not over, is it? It does not seem at all settled in Afghanistan.
No, it doesn't. And this is America's war for the last 20 years. You saw the report that you showed that there's no ceremony of leaving. And that's because there's no victory here. It's still, as the report said, still in chaos here. This is one area where Democrats and Republicans agree at some level that it's time for America to pull out. President Trump advocated for that when he was president, and President Biden is carrying that out as well.
Quite appropriate that it's September 11 when it's all happening?
That's the target date, yes, and it appears to be on time, but we'll see if it happens that day. 2 decades, trillions of dollars spent, thousands of American lives lost, thousands and tens of thousands of civilian lives lost. It's been 2 decades of horror for America and for the rest of the world.
Turning domestically, and Donald Trump, well, the name still obviously is in headlights. We saw the rally the other day, the charges. What do you make of it all, Joe?
Well, I'm looking at everything through a political lens, of course. And at this point, the charges, and we'll see the charges against his CFO, Alan Weisselberg, have not rippled onto the president, at least among his fellow Republicans, that is. You didn't hear Republicans speaking out against this. You didn't hear Republicans condemning the president. And another sign you saw was this week there was the vote on the January 6th commission to investigate the insurrection of the Capitol. Only 2 Republicans voted in favor of that. The rest, largely because of their loyalty to Donald Trump, voted against it. He still has control of the lion's share of the Republican Party. That said, keep watching what some of the people who might run in 2024, Republicans who might run in 2024, are doing. Some are slowly going out to the early states already, even though it's 3 years from now, like Iowa. They're making appearances there. People like Trump's former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina, Vice President Pence has been sort of tiptoeing onto the campaign trail. So these folks are wondering whether Trump runs or not. They're banking on the fact he might. They want to start laying the groundwork in case he doesn't.
Awful tragedy in Florida. Joe Biden visited the building collapse.
He did. And a couple of things to take note from that. This is a return to the role that many U.S. presidents do, sort of the healer in chief. You go to the scene of a horrible disaster, and you go and you talk to the victims' families. You're there to provide a hug, literally and figuratively. And Joe Biden that's one area where he excels. He is, of course, had much personal tragedy in his life. He lost his first wife and daughter in an automobile accident in 1972, shortly after his first elected to the Senate. He lost his adult son to brain cancer several years ago. And he spent 3 hours with the families. That's an extraordinary amount of time. Many politicians, they'll come in, they'll do a photo op, and then they'll get the hell out. The president spent some time there. And he also appeared with the governor of Florida, Republican Ron DeSantis, who may be someone he may be facing in 2024, and had sort of a bipartisan appearance with him, saying, "We'll get you all the federal aid you need on this." And Governor DeSantis said, "Thank you. There's been no delay in that so far." So that was, again, a return to something we didn't see too often with President Trump. That was not his strong point, to go in and hug folks.
Where you are in California, it's hugely political, and at the moment, it's all the talk about the election. It's extraordinary when you look at the size of the Californian economy, don't you, worldwide?
4th largest economy in the world. And right now, they just set the date for when there will be a recall vote on our governor, Gavin Newsom. This is being driven by Republicans in the state who haven't won statewide elective office since 2006. and that was when Arnold Schwarzenegger was reelected as governor. This is the first time we've attempted to recall a governor since 2003. Much of this is the sixth time that Republicans in California have attempted to recall Governor Newsom, and he's only been in office less than a couple of years. This is it's based on they don't like the way he's in this version. They're pressing. They're saying he didn't handle the COVID catastrophe well. They're saying they had mixed messages.
40% of Californians want to recall Newsom. There has to be 50% plus one vote to recall him. And then there's several people who have lined up, who have been running their campaigns. Republicans have been running their campaigns to replace Newsom. At this point, Newsom should be in good shape, but we don't know. There could be another spike in COVID could come back. Businesses could be closing again. The return to school could be compromised in September when this vote will be held, September 14th. Those are some of the factors that surprises that could happen to him. But at this point, the economy is rebounding well in California. The students are on track to go back to schools, where baseball parks are filled with fans, restaurants are open again. It's a return to life before pandemic in many ways, and those factors are strongly in the favor of Gavin Newsom.
It's a bit of a tease there, Joe, as we wrap it up, because Australians love to travel. I know personally San Francisco's one of my favourite cities. How is it all in and around Fisherman's Wharf and Chinatown? It's a great town. Is it all starting to sort of strut back to normal? I think everyone's desperate to get on planes again.
Yes, come on and visit. And I am desperate to come back to Australia, which my family and I had a lovely visit there several years ago. And but yes, California is open. Come and visit.
Yeah, we've got to open now, Australia. That's our challenge. All right, Joe, good to talk to you, and we'll catch up with you real soon.